with Cornell. So how do we do that? Is on the Facebook and Twitter, the main channels. We post things that we, I say we, it's really just one person shows them, as I mentioned. I look at an authentic stories. Authentic stories and inspiring experiences, those are the really important kind of criteria that we look at before we post anything. And on average day, you might end up with only 3 or 4 different posts that that will touch with both reflective and reflexive audiences, meaning those that we just see a visual and comment on it versus a post that would lead into read a story that somebody would then read that post with more a reflective type of engagement. So main channels, Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is one that we use to build a community. Twitter we use to primarily get messages out. An average age for a Twitter user or Twitter follower for now is about 40 years old to 43 years old. An average age for Facebook is about 24. The demographic split would be 51% female, 49% male. So that's a kind of really broad. I have all kind of data and information that if you'd like, I would be more than happy to share with you. So then beyond Facebook and Twitter, we have channels such as Google+, LinkedIn. Those 2 channels we just starting to really use for specific purposes. Like for instance, Google+, we use the Google Hangouts. It's a really interesting, a creative way to connect with the media outlets, to set up a really quick conferencing, which work well for us because part of our function is not only tell the Cornell story, but really connect with other message amplifiers out there, everybody from PBS to you name it. So the second tier, so Google Plus and LinkedIn, we don't have a large community there, but we use as a specific tools, as I said. LinkedIn, I think has enormous potential, particularly to connecting students and successful alums to really figure out how to tell the story of or the career path for a student, how your life will look like in the future, by looking at some of the successful stories that alumni might tell us. Then we have Pinterest and Foursquare. Those tools also at the infancy, they're pretty early stages. Pinterest we use primarily to connect with the news media outlets. It's an interesting way for us to supply high-resolution images, for instance, to Huffington Post or Associated Press. So we use those channels perhaps not in a conventional ways that they were originally intended. I understand that we'll have a Q&A session, and I'll be more than happy to drill to any one of those tools in more in depth and maybe talk to specific scenarios or questions that you might have. Foursquare is one tool that I'm really excited about, and particularly how it connects to your subject, sustainability. I think it's important as we try to communicate to the world out there what are we doing at Cornell in terms of sustainability. I think it's important to understand how will a campus digital cloud will look like in a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now. And tools such as Foursquare presents an interesting opportunity. Augmented reality, for example. Each building at Cornell, we have about 400 buildings, if I'm not mistaken. We have a data, facilities have a data that describe everything that the building is using in terms of utility. There's electricity, there's water, there's all kind of information that I think you can, as message ambassadors, turn into a positive storytelling. And a few years from now, tools such as Foursquare and augmented reality will enable us to be able to have a snapshot around any building and be able to see what's really happening at that building in terms of its energy draw and so forth. So there are all kind of trajectories there. So I'm trying to run really fast, so I'll go to my cheat list. So I talked about 3 tiers of social network. In addition to those 6 mentioned, we are actively looking at any other new media platform where we find Cornell-related audience that may include Weibo in China, or Renren, or a Yelp, or Instagram, or Tumblr. Some of the basic tools that we have not been able to take advantage of, but we actively looking at those platforms. So communications, what can we do for you, and why it's important for you to understand the landscape is that it's really difficult to build engaged audience on a new topic. On average, it takes about 2,500 people on a Facebook page to have any kind of a meaningful exchange, unless you're really specific to specific topics, such as particular type of bird followers, a fan club. So you need to think about on the broad topic such as sustainability, you need to have about 2,500 people to have sort of engaged community, and you have to evaluate sort of ahead of time and see, do you have the audience to support that type of community? So Facebook is a great place to grow that audience. But what we can do from University Communications, we can help you grow that audience. We can amplify your stories. So if you have something interesting on a Facebook, let's say a gallery, a visual gallery that would connect to a broad Cornell audience, we can reshare it for you. Same goes for Twitter, for instance. We can find ways to amplify your story, not only to the Cornell audience, but broader to the world audience. And that's an ability that we have at University Communications, because we have a number of news outlets following Cornell. So it's easier for us to connect through easy direct message to news outlets or other organizations around the world. Same thing with Google+, for instance. We have a connection to Science Sunday. It's a Google Incorporated program which looks at exciting things around the world, and then they amplify it further through news outlets. So some specific things. So as all you will become communicators and amplifiers of this great work that you do for Cornell. It's important for you to agree on some of the basic principle on the Twitter. What hashtag, for instance, you are pushing? Talk to us. We'll be happy to work with you on that and figure out how to either push a specific topic in your sustainability efforts or a general hashtag. We can talk about the strategies more deeply in this Q&A session. But that's something to keep in mind. Looking at some of the opportunities, I think there are plenty. For instance, cooperative extensions. I'm not sure how it connects to your program, but there's a lot of stories that we can tell, not just within Cornell, but New York State and the world. A footprint where we have a footprint where we have changed lives, people's lives around the world, and sustainability falls right in that category. Creative use of infographics. I mentioned this before. There are tools that can help you build a quick infographic. You don't have to be a designer, but if you use easily, for instance, with a data set of 10 to 12 different numbers, you'll be able to create an infographic. It's not that complicated. So when we finish here today, you should go and try it. It's an interesting and effective way to tell a story, particularly when you talk about sustainability, where you're moving from one place to another, and there's all kind of numbers involved in that storytelling.
Vitaly, what's your favorite tool for building infographics?
Well, I do like in Photoshop or the fireworks, but easily, easel.ly is, I think, is probably the most straightforward tool.
That's when you showed me it has themes, and you just sort of pull and drop and push a button.
Yeah. So those are sort of techniques. Some of the things you might think about let's say, telling a story, a sustainable story in one day in the life of Cornell. Can you imagine taking the snapshots around the university all in one day and pointing out to one central theme, the sustainability? Something like that, I think will go a long way and will be of interest to a broad audience. You can accomplish this by either giving cameras away or have message ambassadors in different places looking for those sustainability type of examples. Creating a repository of sustainability examples, I think, is another good way to engage community, to challenge community to submit these stories, creating a contest and on a Q&A or on your new website. We can amplify, we can help drive audience to help you engage them further. What else do I say? As sustainability pioneers, you have an opportunity to really change the behavior. It's pretty cool that you're actually changing the behavior of people, and you're educating everybody around that there is a new and more exciting, effective, and efficient ways to live. And I think it's really cool. I often talk to my kids, and they tell me how much they think about throwing stuff around, wasting. That mentality is very different, radically different from mentality that I grew up in, 15, 20 years ago. So you have the opportunity to tell people about applications such as Nest, which allows you to control the temperature environment at home to thermostat, and there's an array of others. But I think I talked over 10 minutes.